Uncharted is a film adaptation of the beloved video game franchise. The Uncharted games are one of those scenarios where the game gets a lot of praise. They're absolutely deserving of all that praise. The one convenient thing that I can say that the first game shows a bit of age. Other than that, so in this film adaptation, we have Tom Holland as Nathan Drake and Mark Walberg as Sully, and this is the story of how they meet. Although we did see a glimpse of it in Uncharted 3, and now they're on their first adventure together to find the lost gold of Magellan. As someone like myself who is a fan of the games, I said this to myself, okay, this is not going to be as good as the games, but maybe we can have some fun, and some fun is in here. So the film is about the two looking for the next big score. It doesn't take long before Nathan and Sully meet up with Chloe Fraser, a fun and energetic addition who keeps everyone in the world-spanning adventure on their feet. The one question I asked myself as I was watching the film was that if Tom Holland could pull off Nathan Drake, most likely playing a younger version of the character. And the answer, thankfully, is yes. He's as charismatic as ever, sinking his teeth into a plain and Indiana Jones type, and I was never as once distracted by the fact that this is the same actor who played Spider-Man in one of the biggest movies ever just a couple months ago. Walberg did a decent job playing as Sully, Drake's wise-cracking mentor, but some of the things that make Sully so recognizable in the games that didn't survive the transition of the film is his iconic thick mustache and dark booming voice, none of which Mark Wahlberg has. But both Holland and Wahlberg's characters had very good chemistry, including some of the very good emotional scenes, and it's mostly pretty easy to look past him not being entirely loyal to the source material. Throughout the film, Nate and Sully also bump into fellow treasure hunter Moncada, played by Antonio Banderas, and the way they exchange quips is endearing in a cartoonish way. These types of scenes will be fun for casual audiences, but for those familiar with the games, it's a loving recreation of the defined traits that we know and love about, mostly about Nathan Drake. And speaking of the villains, the ones here are just mostly forgettable. Their stories are anticlimactic and one-dimensional, and many motives for seeking for the big treasure beyond simple greed are unclear. In a way, though, it's oddly fitting because while the Uncharted games have featured many antagonists, the real evil has always been about greed and what it can do to people, and that theme is present throughout the film. My favorite scenes in Uncharted all live to the final act where we see Nathan and Sully in their element of pirate caves and shootouts and shooting one-liners while being attacked by henchmen. If this is your first experience with Uncharted, it's a solid adventure film that benefits from Tom Holland's charm, no matter how straightforward the plot may be. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna give Uncharted a 4 out of 5 stars. I think it's a movie that is definitely worth watching in theaters. So yeah, Uncharted, have you seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And also, what is your favorite video game based film? Comment below and let me know. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to see more movie reviews and stories like this.